Hello everyone, welcome to the current session. I am Manish Sharma, your friend in this design learning journey. In this session, we will cover few of the essential concepts for making efficient and effective designs. We will use three sketch exercises to learn rectangular pattern, how to edit it, and mirror feature so that we are able to make a better design in lesser time. In the next portion of the video, you are going to learn how do we do that. So let us start our example 4. It is taken from engineering drawing by Andy Bird. In this example shows a rectangular plate with three holes of 10 and 16 diameter. This plate has cross section of 50 by 50 with the thickness 10 So move to Fusion 360 workspace, create sketch, select plane, and sketch palette is open with the options in the sketch are showing here. So we have to make a plate which is a square section. Go to create rectangle, and instead of 3 point we can also make two or center rectangle. So 2 point rectangle is selected. Open sketch grid so that you are able to relate these points. You can snap on or off. So 2 point rectangle I am making of approximately 50 by 50 I have to make. Let us give the dimensions 50 by 50. Instead of giving this dimension, I can just apply the equal constraint so that I do not have to bother about the dimensions. Now this is still undefined. I can move it to any of the location. So let me move to the origin so that it is completely defined. Otherwise, in this way, when blue lines are showing, I can move it anywhere on the screen, even distort it if these constraints are not applied. Like if I remove this like if I remove this vertical constraint, then this line can move, distort like this. Control Z, or I can apply the vertical constraint on it. Now press escape, drag it to the origin so that it becomes black and fully defined, or full mouse. Zoom it with the scroll button of the mouse. Now we have a square plate of 50 by 50 Go to sketch. So we have three holes, 60 at this position, 20 from the left, 25 above the bottom line, and then two holes of 10 So let me roughly make first these three holes. 10 10 20 Press D or just click here for the sketch dimensions. It is a 20 hole, so give the value 20. The 10 holes, give the value 10. Apply equal constraint so that I do not have to define this again. Go to sketch mode now. 10 from here and 30 with center distance between these two. 10 and center distance between these two is 30 Then we have to define the position of this hole. this 16 hole, 20, 25. In the sketch I have made it 20 so I will edit it, give the dimension from the bottom as 25 from the left edge 20 so this hole is completely defined. The center of this from the right edge is at 12 so click on this, give the value 12 dimension lines shouldn't intersect with each other, so we have to restructure these lines. This hole is still undefined because I haven't defined the exact position of this. So go to vertical constraint, select center point of both these holes, and now this sketch is fully defined. Drag these little bit closer. So now one view is completed. We can make this view as well using rectangle again. We can make this view means side view. 10 thickness is there, length is 50 Go to dimension, give the dimension 10 and height 50, and because it is a sketch mode in the 3D modeling, not the drawing, so we have to define position of this side view with respect to this. So let us take the distance between these two as 25 and make these two equal. So this sketch is still not fully defined because it can move upward and downward. So what we have to do, select this, press Control button. Now these two edges are selected, make them collinear. So now this sketch is fully defined. We can save it now to the appropriate folder which we have created in the previous session, Fusion 360, Learning Fusion 360 and Innovative Approach for Designer. Name the folder as Exercise 4 Plate with 3 holes and save it. Now move to another example. So now here in the previous example 4 we have only 3 holes in which 2 are aligned. Here we have number of holes. So if number of holes are there, in that case we have to use some different features because we do not create these holes one by one manually. So move to Fusion 360, click on new drawing, new file, whatever you can say, create a sketch, select front plane, create rectangle. Now instead of doing this, we can here use 3 point rectangle, point 1, point 2, and point 3. By this way, we will create a horizontal and vertically aligned rectangle. If we do not do this and we click 3 points in this way, then diagonally opposite point it is not taking. It is taking points along the single edge. So in that ways, tilted rectangle is being formed. We do not require it, but if somehow we made it like this, then we have to go to this vertical and horizontal constraint, click here, and we can do it horizontally aligned. Now, similar to the previous exercise, we will drag it to the origin and give the dimensions 60 by 100 and then 10 hole we will draw first, which is at 10 12.5 from the bottom lower edge. So give the dimension first 60 mm, 100 mm. Then we will make now hole, circle, clicks somewhere here, 10 mm, drag dimension outside the hole. Then go to dimension, it is at 12.5 from the bottom edge, and from it is at 12.5 mm, it is at 12.5 mm from the left edge and 10 mm from the bottom. So now this is fully refined. Now we have two ways of making this pattern. Either we use manually, we make the individual circles and then do it for the every hole. Another way is we can make half of the holes, mirror it, half of the holes, mirror it. But the best way is for using the pattern command. So go to create rectangular pattern, because this pattern is towards the straight edges, not the curve like we done in the previous exercise. So go to create rectangular pattern. It is now the palette, rectangular palette is there. It is asking for two things. First, object, which is to be patterned, and direction about which we want to pattern the object. So click on object. So other options are highlighted now, which we can use for making our model. Drag it so that we are able to review it. Either we can drag it here. So now direction, it is asking if I select here, then that line is also selected in the object, but I do not like this line as an object. I want it to be a direction. So click here. I do not want, then it will automatically take the direction as well. But I want two directions, not a single one. So click this as well, and this. Both are now selected because I want array along two directions. So as quantity is 3 along both directions, that's why only 3 are showing along horizontal and vertical axis. So I need 6 along the horizontal and 4 along the vertical. So let me change it first. 6 along horizontal, no, 6 along, 4 along vertical, and 6 along horizontal. So whatever extent I use, it will place it equally. So in horizontal, 75 is the distance, because this is 12.5, so I want 12.5 margin from the right edge as well. That's why the remaining 75, I want to distribute these 6 circles or holes. Similarly for vertical, the length is 60 mm and 10 mm is the margin from the bottom edge, which I want from the top edge as well. So this remaining 40 mm dimension, I have to distribute these 4 circles. Instead of extend, I can also use spacing. But in the case of spacing, I have to give the value. How much is spaced I want individual cells or holes. So this is not required here. Better way of doing this is to do extend. But if somehow you click here, these holes will be created. So when this pattern is created, there is a symbol which is showing that this circle is used for making pattern. This is for rectangular pattern or array. So right click on this and you can edit this rectangular pattern if somehow you have made it wrong in some of the other dimensions. So instead of spacing, click on extend. You can make increase this, increase it as well. Similarly for this horizontal direction, you can this light way circles are showing the changes which may be possible if I change it to 8 from 6. So let us move further to its 6. Okay. So exercise 5 is now completed. This hollow shaft has the minimum diameter of 30 mm, which is basically the hole, and maximum diameter of 80, with the steps of 48 and 60 mm. This 54 mm taper or chamfer, what we can say, is there along the 12 mm length from the right edge. Total length of the shaft is 50. So let us make it in the Fusion 360. Go to new design, but before that we can save it. So go to save example 5. Folder location we have to always check. It is Learning Fusion 360 and innovative approach. Example number 5. So it is saved now. We can close these two or let it remain open. Go to new design. Now we want to make this example number 6, which is a step shaft taken from engineering drawing by Andy Burt. This step shaft has maximum diameter of 80 mm with a hole of 30 mm and steps of 48 and 60 mm. Each ranges to total length of 50 mm. There is a chamfer as well, which is from 54 mm to the 30 mm along the 12 mm length. So let us start developing this. Go to Fusion, new file, untitled one, select polyline, and number of ways are possible for making this, but here we are using the mirror feature of the Fusion 360. But here we are using mirror feature of Fusion 360. We will take advantage of this centroidal line, make only upper half, and then develop the drawing. So go to Fusion 360, select polyline, and start making model from here. So this upper portion is completed, which is shown by these inclined lines. It is known as hatching. It is done basically to show the interior details of the object so that we can see that there is a hole. Otherwise, in normal orthographic projection, we are not able to see the details and we have to show them by dash lines or hidden lines. So we are making this upper hatched portion. Go to Fusion 360. The dimensions we will take 30, 48, 60, 80, 54. Go to dimension 30, 54. It is not 30. We have to take half of the dimension about the centroidal axis. So if we have little bit issues in calculation, make it 30 by 2. Then we have another dimension of 60 by 2. Then this is 80 by 2. And this is, press escape twice if the command is still active. And now we have to give dimension to this 54 by 2. Last, this dimension about the origin 80 by 2. Zoom in so that you are able to see the details. Lengths are remaining 15, 15, and total length is 50. So again, dimension is active 15, 15, and from there to there, the horizontal distance is 50. So now sketch is Almost completed with few of the options still remaining because it is not still fully defined. Few lines are black, few are blue. So it means some constraints are still left. Dimensioning we have given. Now let us make the geometric constraint. Make it horizontal. No, it is over constrained. So we are, if there is some over constraining over the sketch, then this fusion will give the error like the sketch geometry is over constrained. So in that case, what we have to do, we have to manually first drag it to find out the error that this length or angle is not defined. So first we will define it as per the sketch. This is 12 and this is 38 mm. So we can define this 12 mm dimension, and let us check further. So this is the issue because this 15 mm is means this edge is still not completely defined. Click it, make vertical constraint about the origin. So now we have completely defined after applying this vertical constraint. A whole of the sketch is now in black color. Now what we have to do, go to this polyline, select center line, make a center line from origin to any length. Okay, this is the extra line, delete it because we do not require it. If we zoom in, then we are able to see the center line. But if it's not possible, then just elongate it so that we can see the center line. In closer them so that we are able to see the geometry in a better way. So it is not required, but it is a best practice to follow this procedure so that your sketch looks better. Now we will go to create and there is an option mirror. Else it is highlighting here, which we can change using right click and reset toolbar customization. But we are not doing here. Click on mirror, asking for the object to mirror. So first we will select the center line, which is already selected, but we have to cross check that actual line is selected. Then one by one we can select object to zoom it out so that we are able to see that this mirror object is created. Again, so instead of doing manually, we can just press the left mouse button and select everything in the highlightation. So the options which the edges which were already selected are not selected in this box selection. We can also use selection option to create complete sketches. So after selection of this centroidal line, our next step is to select the object which we want to mirror. We can do it manually, one by one creation is there, or we can just drag and box select the each and every object and click OK. This object creation. If we want to hide the constraints, we can do it using this option. Whatever things we need, we just show them. Other things can be hidden. If we want to change the environment, we can do this as per our requirement. So this sketch is different from this because it is the sectional view. If you want to create these lines, we can do that well. Go to line, select this point, and then make a vertical line. Okay. If extra line is created, just select and delete it. So after doing this, the next step is obviously to save the file. Go to save button or press Ctrl S. Name the file, example 6 stepped shaft, and just save in the correct folder. So the name of file with its version v0 is created. So that concludes our current session. In this session, we have learned two of the efficient tools which are available in sketching module, such as rectangular pattern and mirror command. These are very effective for making and developing effective and efficient sketches in a faster and speeder development of the products. Because if the sketch is developed as fast as, then only we will be able to develop the model using different features available in Fusion 360. Now I request you to subscribe and share it with your friends so that they can also take the opportunity to learn these concepts.